Alrighty, here to teach you about factoring trinomials. I am going to use the reverse box method to do so. So I am on page 30 in my Unit 8 packet for those of you in my class. If you would like to go back and reference, today on page 26, we went over the rules and the steps. So we have how to use reverse box method and exactly what we're going to do to get there. Okay, so I am on page 30 and I'm going to start with number 1. So step 1, we always start with the first form of factoring, which is GCF, right? So I want to look and see if I have a GCF, and that's a greatest common factor, common between all three terms, and I do not, right? 10 doesn't have an x, I can't take an x out. This is a 1, so there's nothing I can take out. So we remember that trinomials are in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is your leading coefficient, b is your middle term, and c is your constant. So rule 1 is to multiply a times c. So in this case, I'm going to have 1 times negative 10. So 1 times negative 10 is going to give me negative 10. And what I'm going to do is list the factors of negative 10. So my method of doing this is to just list the factors of 10 and list them twice. So 10 divided by 1 is 10. I'll do that twice. 10 divided by 2 is 5. I'll do that twice. 10 divided by 3 does not give me an integer. 10 divided by 4 does not give me an integer. The next number I would try is 5, and since I've already used it here, I know that I'm done. Okay, so because 10 is negative, that means that I need to have one factor negative in each set, okay? And that's why I write them twice. So I have negative 1 times 10, or 1 times negative 10, both give me negative 10. Okay, the next step is to find the pair of factors that add to our middle term b. So which of these factors are going to add to positive 9? Well, that's easy. Negative 1 plus 10 is positive 9. That means this is the pair that I'm going to use in my factoring. So now it's time to factor. I'm doing a trinomial. That means I'm going to need a box that is 2 by 2. So I will make my little window box 2 by 2. And I fill it in. I put my x squared, my ax squared in my first box. I put my constant in my bottom right box. And then I fill in my diagonal with my new terms, negative 1, and put an x, and positive 10x. Okay, now the goal is to factor out the GCF from every column and every row. So if I start here, the GCF between x squared and x is going to be x. The GCF between 10x and negative 10 is positive 10. Okay, I know this is negative, but I only take out a negative if it's going to be in the front term, so you'll see me do that down here. Now over here, the GCF between x squared and 10x is just x. And over here, the GCF between negative 1x and negative 10, feels like there is no GCF. But there is a negative in front, and if there is no GCF, we take out 1. So I'm going to take out negative 1 because I have a negative in front. If this were to be a positive 1, I would just take out a positive 1. Okay, so if you can't find a GCF, you just take out 1. So now I'm factored. The top one is my one factor and the side one is my other factor. So I can write x plus 10 as one factor and x minus 1 as the other factor. Okay, and you can double distribute, or you could use box method. You could do whatever you want to redistribute and make sure that you got the answer correct. But in this case, we're not going to spend time on that. We're just going to do a little bit more practice. Okay, so I am going to jump to number 3 and do it again. First things first, is there a GCF? No, there is nothing in common between these three terms. So I am going to multiply a which is 1. If there's no number in front of your x squared, it's a 1, times 36. So 1 times positive 36 is 36. And I'm going to list the factors of 36. There's lots of these. You can do it manually. You could put 36 divided by x in the calculator and look at your table and y equals. But I'm just going to do mental math because I can. So 36 divided by 1 is 36. 36 divided by 2 is 18. 36 divided by 3 is, I believe, 12. 36 divided by 4 is 9. Oh boy. 36 divided by 6 is 6. And since I've already used 6, I'm finito. Okay, this time I have a positive 36, but I still listed my factors twice because positive 1 times positive 36 is positive 36, but also negative 1 times negative 36 is positive 36. So I need a negative set and a positive set to list my factors completely. Okay, so notice when you have a negative number, your negative and your factors is going to bounce back and forth, just like negativity in a room. So if you're mean to somebody, they're going to be mean back and vice versa. So negative number, your negative bounces back and forth. You have a positive number, everyone's going to agree. So you have a positive set, negative set, negative set, and so on. Okay, so now the next step is to find the pair, the factor pair, that adds to our middle term b. So I need a term, the terms that are going to add to negative 13. Negative 13, and here it is, negative 4 plus negative 9 is negative 13. So those are the numbers that I am going to replace negative 13 with in my fancy box. So I will make a 2 by 2 box, a little window. I put my first term in the top left box, x squared. I put my third term in the bottom right box. Make sure you keep the sign in front with it. And I replace my 13x, negative 13x, with negative 9x and negative 4x. Now, it doesn't matter which one you put where, okay? So don't let that trip you up. And now we will take out our GCF from each column and each row. So here, the GCF between x squared and negative 4x is x. The GCF between negative 9x and 36 is 9, but because the front one, the one in front, is negative, I'm going to take out the negative 9. And over here we have x, and over here again I have a negative in front, so I want to pull out a negative, and the GCF is 4. And those are my factors. I have x minus 9 and x minus 4. And this is another thing where the order doesn't matter. The 4 can be in front, the 9 can be behind. It doesn't matter which way you write it. But we are fully factored. Okay? So I think this video is long enough. I'm going to leave you with the rest of the page to factor. I wish you luck. And we'll see how you do tomorrow.